If you've enjoyed the content we've made so far in 2024, we're asking you to pick up a Kinda Funny membership on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames to say thanks as part of August's Kinda Funny membership drive. That 10 spot would get you access to more than 130 exclusive episodes of content. And to give you a taste, we're posting one of the exclusive Gregways just like this each and every Saturday and Sunday in August. On top of that, make sure you join us for weekly public happy hours where we take Patreon member calls live for everyone as previews of what a Kinda Funny membership gets you each and every month.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to your Gregway for 3/29/24, almost the end of the month. I hope you're having a good one. Hope your month is good. Hope your future is looking good. Hope you got a lot of fun stuff looking forward to in April. I'm very excited for a few things that hopefully I'll share on content eventually. But Roger here, not Greg. Sorry to disappoint or sorry to excite, because I know we got a lot of Roger heads in the chat. I wanted to talk a little bit about my woodworking experience. It has now come to a close, at least the woodworking one that I was a part of, and just want to talk about what it means to me, show you the finished product, and talk a little bit about, working with your hands and doing something from not ever working with your hands and going into this whole process. So I've talked a little bit about it, I think, on 2 Gregways ago. So I started doing woodworking class to essentially make a side table. I have not zero, but I have very limited woodworking history. I've taken a few classes, but they were so spread apart that like every single time I took one, I would forget it. And then since the last time I took a woodworking class, it has definitely been the entire pandemic up until now. So I have forgotten 99% of the things that I've learned. But I went into this class, a beginner's class, and they taught everything from scratch. And I was really blown away by how much I learned, not necessarily about woodworking, because of course I learned a lot, but I learned so deeply about learning, if that makes sense. It's been a while since I've been in school, and not that long, right? It's only been like 4 years since I was in college last, but it feels like forever. And I think I forgot how to learn in a lot of ways, right? Like I forgot how to actually advocate for myself and have moments where the whole class is learning something where it feels like they know how to do something, and I just right over my head. I have no idea what the instructor's saying. I am trying so hard, I'm grasping at that. And I realized very early on in this process of, learning and going into this class that I had trouble, advocating for myself. I said sorry a lot. I was apologizing for going through my own journey of learning and understanding something. And I am a very tactile person, right? I'm somebody who, you can give me a whole dissertation on, hey, you're going to do this and the theory of this. And then if you do this and if you do that, if you learn this machine, you do that thing, and this machine works this way. But you got to, unless I'm on the machine, working with the machine, using the machine, understanding in my project how the machine works, I am not going to get it. Right? Like that is the only way that I am going to learn is by doing. That's how I've always been. That's how I probably will always be, is by learning and by actually physically working on something. So that has been really important for me in the beginning of this whole process, was for me to remember that, right? Is when we're standing around a machine and we're reading the piece of paper that has to do with safety and talking about it and talking about how this thing, it was a lot of theory at first. And I was like, the first 2 classes, I was freaking out. Internally, I felt like I was going to have a panic attack of like, I'm not going to be able to learn this because it seems like everyone's nodding their head and then I don't understand it and then yada, yada, yada. It's just, it was a lot and it was very scary at first. But as the classes went on, I stood with it. I continued to realize that all I needed to do was look at the teacher and find that courage to say, I don't understand, or I don't get this part. And then I started to realize that I actually did know parts of the things that I thought I didn't know, right? It's so easy for me to go, well, I don't understand this certain part of it, so I don't understand the entire thing, right? But instead, the truth is that I actually do know a good chunk of what they're explaining to me. I just need that physical interaction with something. I need that extra help. I need to sit with a teacher and have them explain it in my language in order to bridge those gaps. So that was really beautiful, right? Like that was a beautiful lesson, and it was great to have it every single Thursday. I would drive 45 minutes down to Palo Alto, and it's a high school that changes into an adult school at 5 p.m. So I'd be there a little early, and I'd see all these kids walking around. I'm just sitting in my car, feeling like a loser, just like on my phone, just like three chins, just like waiting because that's the only way that I can get there in a reasonable time. But either way, it was a great experience, and it was something that I'm so sad that I'm not taking woodworking too. Should have absolutely signed up. It was one of those things where it happened. I missed it. I convinced myself I didn't need it, but I definitely want to be there. I definitely want to be learning woodworking too. I want to continue this, but hey, there's another semester after that. It's going to be totally fine. I can pick up right after that. But I made the table. So I made the fucking table. A lot of hard work, a lot of moments of fucking up and feeling like I'm bad at this, but then also remembering, hey, I'm learning something that is part of the process of learning. And I'm very grateful to have that process of learning, to get back in the out of the instant gratification that is the internet, the instant gratification of learning something, right? When you go on the internet, right, and you look up, how do I learn woodworking? What do you see? Go on YouTube right now. I guarantee you the top 5 videos are going to be like top 5 mistakes that every fucking idiot woodworker learns. Top 5 ways to learn how to be better at woodworking fast. How to learn woodworking super fucking fast. Like, it is just all speed based. The algorithm has ruined any type of learning. The YouTube Academy is dead, at least unless you go deeper and go to Reddit and try to find the actual videos that would teach you something worth a damn. But if you go on YouTube to learn something and try to self-learn, it is such a hard experience right now because YouTube's algorithm is focused on trying to get those clicks, trying to get the retention, trying to get as many people as possible to click on a 5-minute video rather than showing a 20-part, hour-long documentary tutorial series on how to learn the actual basis of what you need to learn. And I was so happy that I got out of that, right? Because for so long, I was like, man, I got to learn things fast. I got to do it right. I got to do all this. No. What you got to do, Roger, is sit your ass down, look at the instructor, listen to what they're saying, have conversations with them, take your time cutting one piece of wood, take an entire 3 hours to cut 4 pieces of wood. Like, you need to take your fucking time, pull back a little bit, and stop being so fucking focused on getting the result. It's the journey. And man, what a powerful journey it's been. And it's only been a few weeks. It was only 10 weeks, 11 weeks, and it was such a monumental and important journey for my personal life. So I was very proud of it. So without further ado, here's the images of the table. So there it is right here. If you can see, I know audio listeners, sorry, you're gonna have to pull over in order to see this. But yeah, I have tapered edges, which is nice. Tapered edges on my actual feet and the legs of the table. And then I have a little bit of like, I don't know what you call this on the apron, but like the divot, like a routered edges. I don't know what you call it, trim, a nice little trim that I got here. And yeah, it's solid. It's nice. There's some things that I would change, right? It's a little wobbly on one side. We looked into that. It was just very much like, hey, not really much you can do in the situation. We tried to we got it down pretty well, but it's still like a little bit not great, but it's like not the worst thing in the world. One of my aprons is the wrong color, and that's not a huge deal at all because I designed it in a way that you won't see that side with the way that I'm going to be putting it in my house. But either way, it's still something that I can look at and say, hey, I made this, right? Like, I have this great image, if I can pull it up really quick, with me and the instructor who taught me. And it's just like, I'm going to cherish this image forever of I'm so happy in this image. Right? Like, I am so fucking happy in this image. And it's because I built something, right? Like, I built something with my 2 hands. Like, I've never felt convicted to get a tattoo, right? And sometimes I have those moments or phases where I'm like, oh, I should get it. Oh, that might be nice. It always falls apart because it's not something that's within my soul. It's not something that's actually something that I want to remind myself every day of. I think, if anything, it's a weird thing. I might get this exact table tattooed on myself to remind myself that, hey, I built something. I did something. I need to just take my time because look at the results, right? I take my time playing video games. I take my time watching movies. I take my time consuming everything why don't you take your time to create again, Roger? Because that's what you used to do. So it was a nice reminder of where I've been, how far I still have to come, but how important the journey is. And it might sound preachy, but it's true. And the journey is beautiful, and I'm very excited for my future and learning other things. And I'm already doing something right now that is bettering my health and my mind. That I'll talk about one day. That I'm on the journey of learning and building up another skill. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very happy, and I'm very thankful for you all on this Friday. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. Hope you do a lot of fun stuff, and I'm excited to tell you about my weekend because it's going to be a fun one. Peace out, everybody, and have a good one. Bye.